When I talk about wealth, I mean more than just having lots of money. Some of the wealthiest people I've met don't have much of what I consider real wealth. They might be very rich, but they spend all their time working and don't have many close friends or free time to enjoy life. Real wealth includes being healthy, because what's the point of money if you're not healthy? It's also about having good friends who you can have fun with, laugh with, and who interest you. Feeling happy most of the time is also part of real wealth. Knowing that you're making a difference in the world and that your life matters is another aspect of wealth. Everyone has something special to offer, and feeling fulfilled by that is a wealthy feeling. Let's start by challenging some ideas about money. Before you can get more money, you need to enrich yourself internally. Think for a moment. What would having more money provide that you don't already have? Often people say things like freedom, security, or power. These are states of mind, and you can cultivate them without money. Wealth is relative. When someone becomes a millionaire, they might start thinking that having 100 million is a lot and a million isn't enough. This mindset leads to always feeling like you need more money and can make you feel poor inside. Swami Muktananda, an Indian guru, once said that people in America live in paradise but may never realize it. Now let's focus on money and why some people are better at making it than others. Many researchers have found that the difference lies in our thought patterns, not necessarily our intelligence. Some people have what I call a poverty consciousness. This means deep down they don't feel like they deserve to be wealthy. They might constantly think about why they're poor or why life isn't fair, comparing themselves to others who seem to have more. If you have these kinds of thoughts, don't worry, we can change them. This positivity system can help you reprogram your mind so you naturally start thinking more like someone who is wealthy. As the author James Allen explains in his book, As a Man Thinketh, our thoughts have a big impact on our lives. Even if we don't realize it, the thoughts we focus on, whether positive or negative, affect our character and the situations we find ourselves in. While we can't directly control everything that happens to us, we can choose how we think about things, which indirectly shapes our circumstances. Research has found that many people who suddenly come into a lot of money, like lottery winners or those who inherit wealth, often end up losing it quickly. Surprisingly, 80% of them are worse off financially just 2 years later. This happens because deep down, they still feel like they're poor, and their minds work to prove that feeling right. Our minds have a powerful effect on our behavior and actions, and if we see ourselves as poor or constantly worry about being poor, we often end up experiencing exactly that. According to Jim Rohn, if someone gives you $1 million, you have to think like a millionaire to keep the money. It's important to believe that you deserve wealth. Next, we'll work on developing prosperity consciousness in your mind. This means more than just attracting money. It's about changing how you see yourself so you notice the abundance around you and find joy in everything. Money problems are often just a sign of deeper issues. There's something inside a person that needs to change. This isn't a quick fix for getting rich. The positivity system helps you change your core beliefs about wealth. As the saying goes, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, and he eats for life. Let's break down what money is all about. Long ago, people traded goods directly without using money. This system was called bartering. Then, coins came into use. They were like the first IOUs representing the value of things. Later on, paper money was introduced. When you hold a dollar bill, it's like holding a promise from the government to pay. In the past, governments only printed as much money as they had gold in their banks. But things changed in the 1940s when countries decided to stop using the gold standard. Since then, they've been printing money a lot, so now there's only a fraction of gold compared to all the paper money out there. Even paper money is being replaced by plastic, credit cards, and digital transactions. So what does all this mean? Essentially, money is a symbol. It represents confidence in our economy. Let's say you and I have $1 bill. If we keep passing it back and forth quickly, we could theoretically spend $1 million in a week. Money is like the oil that keeps the economy running smoothly. It helps goods and services flow from one person to another. Let's think of money as packaged experiences. When you work hard, your efforts are turned into money, which you can then exchange for things like vacations or cars. However, some people see money as a thing to collect just for the sake of having it. They worry about not having enough, so they try to save as much as possible. But this hoarding can slow down the economy, just like a car engine struggles without enough oil. In today's world, many use money to show off power, success, and happiness. But money itself doesn't make you happy. Happiness comes from within. It's a chemical reaction in your brain. Throughout history, we've seen wealthy people who were still unhappy, like Elvis Presley, Howard Hughes, and Marilyn Monroe. Musician Rakuda once said, "All the money in the world is spent on feeling good. But we know that feeling good is something we create inside ourselves. So to become wealthier, we can skip the money and focus on creating the good feelings directly." Some people think, "I can't feel good about myself or accomplished until I have a certain amount of money saved up." It's good to have goals, but why not make feeling good one of them? Let's talk about negative thoughts about money. Many people have been taught negative ideas about money. For example, some believe that the Bible says money is the root of all evil, but what it actually says is the love of money is the root of all evil, meaning valuing money too much is the problem. Others have heard that there's only a limited amount of wealth, and if you have more, others have less. These are not true. In our culture, you might hear phrases like filthy rich or fat cat, which show an underlying distrust of money. Our beliefs about money, even if they're unconscious, affect how much money we can make. If you believe money is bad, you might unconsciously stop yourself from making more. For instance, some artists think they can't be successful without selling out, or some believe you can't be a good person if you're not always giving to others, even if it hurts you. But as Abraham Lincoln said, you can't help the poor by being one of them. Some people stay poor because it feels safe and familiar, even though they're capable of much more. Our outer world reflects our inner thoughts and beliefs. By using the positivity system, you'll let go of old limited ideas about money and train your mind to embrace prosperity. Historically, limited ideas about money have roots in the past. During the Middle Ages, a few people had all the wealth, and the rest were led to believe that being poor was noble. This created a belief in scarcity, as if there wasn't enough wealth for everyone. Similarly, some modern corporations have a top-heavy structure where everyone competes for power. Poverty was even seen as virtuous by some in the past, especially during times like the Great Depression and World War II, when resources were scarce. People who lived through these times may unknowingly pass on beliefs about scarcity to their children. Another harmful attitude about money is feeling resentful towards others who have more. This often stems from low self-esteem and keeps people stuck. It's better to wish others well when it comes to money. Most self-help and metaphysical books talk about something called the law of attraction. It's like a way of explaining synchronicity, which means meaningful coincidences or surprising things happening by chance. For instance, have you ever thought about someone and then they call you? Is that mind reading, some kind of attraction, or just a coincidence? Or have you ever thought about wanting a certain type of car and then you start seeing that car everywhere? Maybe you just never noticed how many were around before. Wouldn't it be cool to train your mind to notice all the opportunities to become wealthier? Some people think of the mind like a magnet. They believe that what we focus on the most is what we attract to ourselves. It's like how two pianos in the same room can make a string on one piano vibrate if you play the same note on the other piano. Similarly, our thoughts attract people and situations that match what we're thinking about most. Whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, it's interesting to know that many successful people do. Those who focus on the good things in life seem to attract more good things. They're called lucky. Personally, I think we make our own luck. That's what the Bible means when it says, "A man is what he thinks about all day long." Your thoughts have power and can create things. I've noticed that many wealthy and successful people share similar habits and beliefs about money. But the same is true for poverty. It's often influenced by our habits and beliefs about money. Some people unintentionally keep themselves poor because of their attitudes and actions towards money. They might blame their lack of money for their poverty, but sometimes it's their own behaviors that keep them from having more. They might constantly tell themselves, even without realizing it, that they're poor, which can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. But with a mindset shift known as a poverty consciousness or the positivity system, you can change this. I want to share some techniques that have helped me and others increase our wealth. One of the first things I did was decide to do things differently. In the past, I used to worry a lot about money and being poor, which only made me focus more on poverty. For example, when I got a bill, I'd stress about how to pay it, and it made me feel even poorer. While it's important to be financially responsible, I was also reinforcing my belief in poverty to my subconscious mind, so I started imagining myself as wealthy whenever I opened a bill. It felt amazing to visualize having plenty of money in the bank. This sent a new message to my subconscious. Some people try affirmations like, "I am truly wealthy," but if you don't truly believe it, it doesn't work well. Instead, I focused on creating a feeling of wealth by vividly imagining myself as wealthy repeatedly. First, I realized I needed to change how I thought about money. My old checkbook reflected my poor finances, so I got a new one from a different bank to make me feel more positive about money. Then I decided to imagine what it would be like to have more money. I took an old bank statement, cut out the parts that showed I owed money, and rearranged the numbers to make it look like I had lots of money in the bank. When I saw it, I couldn't help but laugh. But it also made me feel like having more money was possible. After a few months, I actually had that amount of money in my account. Having that fake statement helped me believe it could happen. Next, I made a scrapbook with pictures of things I wanted, places I wanted to go, and people I wanted to meet. I made sure to include lots of details so that my mind could really imagine having those things. It's important to dream big because it gives you something to work towards. For example, I went to a Mercedes showroom, sat in a car, smelled the leather, and went for a test drive. I even got a brochure and put it in my scrapbook. I imagined myself driving that car every day, and soon enough, I started seeing Mercedes cars everywhere. My mind was focused on getting one, and before long, I found a great deal and bought my first Mercedes. It's like what George Bernard Shaw said. Some men see things and ask why. I dream things that never were and ask why not. My friend got really into this thing called creative visualization. He started by visualizing parking spaces, and surprisingly, it worked. So he decided to aim for bigger things. He had never traveled abroad and really wanted to, but he didn't have the money. So he gathered travel brochures, cut out pictures of all the places he dreamed of visiting, and put them in a scrapbook. Here's the funny part. Every Sunday for a month, he packed his suitcase, went to the airport, and even stood in line. Then he'd come back home, watch a travel show about flying on Concorde, and look at his scrapbook. He really immersed himself in the experience of traveling to exotic places. He focused on it nonstop for a month because he believed that what you focus on, you get more of. Suddenly, his boss asked him to become their international correspondent, which meant traveling all over the world. He could hardly believe it. Most amazingly, when he arrived in a small village in Switzerland, he felt like he had been there before. When he checked his scrapbook back home, he realized it was the exact same village he had visualized. It's pretty incredible, and I've seen similar things happen since. It's made me more skeptical about coincidences and more open to the idea that our minds might have the power to attract things to us. When I created a TV series about strange happenings, we featured an experiment by a French scientist. He made a robot that moved randomly around a room. Then he hatched some baby chicks. These chicks, when they see something first, think it's their mom. It's called imprinting. The chicks saw the robot as their mom. He put the chicks in a cage in one corner and turned on the robot. Surprisingly, instead of moving randomly, the robot went straight to where the chicks were and stayed with them. This suggests that the chicks were somehow making the robot, which they thought was their mom, stay with them. At Princeton University, lots of experiments have been done to see if people can influence machines and things with their minds. When I made my TV show, I talked to Dr. Michael Iverson from Princeton, who does these experiments. They strongly suggest that psychokinesis, where the mind controls things, might be real. Some people are better at it than others. But like anything, practice makes you better. I started thinking, can you really attract money into your life? Interestingly, many wealthy people believe they can. But how do you do it? It's quite simple, but it requires regular practice. You need to act as if you're already wealthy, like an actor getting into character, and keep doing it over and over again, really getting into the role. First, get a scrapbook and fill it with pictures of things you want, people you want to meet, places you want to go. Basically, anything you desire in your life. It can be as simple as just wanting something. Then, create experiences that involve your goals. If you want a specific car, take it for a test drive. This will help you vividly imagine driving it again and again. If you dream of a beautiful house, imagine walking through it until you know every detail. The feel of the carpet, the smell, the texture of the furniture, and so on. Also, pay attention to any messages from your unconscious mind. For example, when I imagined owning a Bentley, I kept visualizing driving it, but other cars kept crashing into me. I realized this might be a warning that while I could get a Bentley, there might be other costs, like jealousy, that I hadn't thought about before. Imagine your scrapbook as a magical book filled with pictures of all the things you want in your life, like your dream car, a beautiful house, or exotic vacations. Every day, take a moment to open this book and look at those pictures. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living in that dream house, driving that dream car, or relaxing on that dream vacation. As you visualize, try to make it as real as possible. Imagine what you would see around you, like the luxurious interior of your dream car or the stunning views from your dream house. Hear the sounds that would surround you, whether it's the purr of the engine of your dream car or the gentle waves crashing on the shore of your dream vacation spot. Feel the emotions that come with living your dream life, the excitement, the joy, the satisfaction. Do this visualization exercise every day, immersing yourself in the experience of living your dreams. But remember, don't expect instant results. Just like planting seeds in a garden, it takes time for your dreams to manifest in reality. Now, take a moment to imagine how your life would be different if you were much wealthier. Picture yourself walking confidently, with a spring in your step and a smile on your face, knowing that you have the financial freedom to live life on your own terms. Imagine how you would talk with confidence and assurance, knowing that you have the resources to back up your words. Think about how others would treat you with respect and admiration, perhaps even a little envy. Imagine how you would feel about paying bills, not as a burden, but as a simple task that you can easily handle with your wealth. Consider the luxuries you would enjoy, from designer clothes and fancy gadgets to luxurious vacations and fine dining experiences. Visualize yourself buying the things you've always wanted, whether it's a dream car, a spacious house, or meaningful gifts for your loved ones. And most importantly, feel how much better it would be to earn more money, not just for the material possessions, but for the sense of security, freedom, and fulfillment it brings. Keep thinking about this every day until it becomes a natural part of your mindset, until you feel comfortable and confident in your vision of wealth and success. In doing so, you'll be setting the wheels in motion to turn your dreams into reality. All right, now I'm going to share with you some really great ideas on how you can start making more money right away. You don't have to do all of them at once, just pick one and give it a try. Even just one of these ideas can help you get closer to becoming rich. And as you keep trying more of them, you'll speed up your journey to becoming wealthy, just like a millionaire thinks. 1. Let's talk about saving money. It's really important to save some of the money you earn before spending it. I know it might seem obvious, but many people don't do it. They spend all the money they have, and sometimes even more than that. This can keep them stuck in a cycle of being poor. To avoid this, you need to make a plan for your money. Figure out how much you can afford to save each month, and then stick to that plan. It's also a good idea to try to pay off any debts you have little by little each month. This will help you build a solid financial foundation for yourself. Some people find it helpful to write down everything they spend money on. This can make it clearer where your money is going and help you find ways to save more. So start saving first and then spend what's left over. It's a smart way to build wealth for the future. 2. If you want to become wealthy, it's a good idea to learn from people who are already successful. Take some time to study how wealthy people handle their money. See what they're doing differently from you and try to understand their mindset when it comes to wealth. One helpful technique is to choose a role model, someone who is successful and inspires you. Ask yourself what they do that you haven't tried yet. This can give you some valuable insights into what it takes to become wealthy. You can also learn a lot from books and audio programs about wealth. There are many resources out there filled with valuable advice and wisdom from successful people. So take the time to educate yourself and learn from those who have already achieved financial success. 3. Asking for help is a smart move if you want to improve your financial situation. Most people are willing to help if you ask politely and respectfully. It's not just about getting assistance, it also shows that you take yourself seriously and have self-worth. When you ask for help, it also gives others the chance to feel good about themselves by helping you out. Even though not everyone offers help up front, many are willing to lend a hand if you ask. Giving them the opportunity to help can boost their self-esteem too. Charles Gibbons, the author of Wealth Without Risk, suggests that if you want to learn about money, seek advice from someone who is already successful in that area. Many successful people wish more individuals would have the courage to ask them for guidance. So don't hesitate to reach out and learn from those who have achieved financial success. 4. It's important to make sure you pay yourself. But surprisingly, many people forget to do this. They prioritize paying bills and other people, leaving themselves last. They worry that if they pay themselves first, there won't be enough money left for everything else. However, you can flip this around and pay yourself first. Here's how. Every month, write yourself a check or set aside a portion of your income for yourself before paying any bills. By doing this, you'll unconsciously adjust your spending habits. You'll make different choices knowing that you've already set aside money for yourself. This ensures that there's always some money left for your needs and desires. 5. It's important to recognize your weaknesses, even though it can be tough. Everyone knows what they're good at, but not everyone is willing to admit what they're not so good at. Let me tell you about a friend's father who struggled with this. He was incredibly creative and made a lot of money from his creative work. However, he wasn't a skilled businessman. He lost most of his money through bad business deals because he tried to do everything himself. My friend realized that just because his father loved his business didn't mean he was good at running it. It's like enjoying food, but not being qualified to run a restaurant. So when you know your weaknesses, you have two options. You can either spend time and effort trying to improve in those areas, or you can hire someone else who excels in those areas to help you out. It's all about recognizing where you need support and being willing to ask for it. 6. Getting in touch with your passion every day is key to success. Let me share a story about a salesman I once knew who taught me this lesson. This salesman couldn't go for long without trying to sell something. He was always on the lookout for opportunities. Even when we were out together, he'd strike up conversations with strangers and find out what they needed, then offer to sell it to them, even if he didn't have it at the moment. He loved the thrill of persuading someone else to buy. One day, he asked me for a ride home, so I went to pick him up. I was surprised when he didn't have his Rolls Royce with him like usual. He explained that he had sold it earlier that day on a whim. When I asked him what his secret was, he said it was excitement. His passion for selling was contagious. When you're truly passionate about what you do, others will be drawn to you. If you want to learn more about this mindset, I recommend reading Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow by Marsha Sunita. It's all about following your passion and finding success along the way. 7. Let's break down the concept of taking the fear out of making money, inspired by Dr. Richard Carlson's book, Don't Worry, Make Money. Imagine you're saving up for a rainy day. Dr. Carlson suggests putting aside a big chunk of money, like a year's worth of living expenses. It might take some discipline, but it gives you peace of mind, like having a safety net. Dr. Carlson tells a story about two guys offered a job at a startup in the 70s. The pay was low, but they'd get a lot of stock. One guy, living paycheck to paycheck, chickened out, but the other had saved some money and took the risk. Turns out, he made a fortune. The lesson? Making money often means taking risks. It's like they say, no risk, no reward. Dr. Carlson says if you're not too attached to a certain outcome, you're more powerful in negotiations. People can sense your confidence, and it makes them more likely to agree with you. For example, let's say you find your dream house, but it's a bit overpriced. If you're okay with walking away, the seller might come back with a better offer. Most folks worry too much about losing out, so if they see you're not sweating it, they'll try harder to make a deal. So the key is to take the fear out of money. Be smart, but don't let fear hold you back from making moves that could bring big rewards. 8. Regularly visualizing your goals is a powerful technique to help your mind understand what you want to achieve. By creating vivid mental images and engaging all your senses, you give your unconscious mind a clear idea of your desires. To enhance this practice, spend an hour each day immersing yourself in these visualizations. Imagine yourself living your dream life, experiencing all the luxuries and successes you desire. Whether it's envisioning yourself as a wealthy entrepreneur, a famous musician, or any other role that excites you, fully immerse yourself in the experience. Act as if you already have everything you want when you're out and about. Walk into places like restaurants with the confidence and demeanor of someone who has achieved their goals. Approach it like a method actor, fully embodying the character of success. This not only conditions your mind to embrace success, but also makes the process enjoyable and exciting. By regularly engaging in these visualizations and acting as if your dreams have already come true, you pave the way for them to become a reality. 9. Creating a joy list is a wonderful way to prioritize activities that bring you happiness and fulfillment. Start by brainstorming everything you love doing, whether it's reading a book, going for a hike, enjoying a favorite meal, or spending time with loved ones. Once you have your joy list, make a commitment to regularly indulge in these activities. Treat yourself to these experiences as a way of showing self-care and appreciation for yourself. By prioritizing your own happiness, you send a powerful message to yourself and others that you value and respect yourself. Remember, how you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. By regularly treating yourself with kindness and compassion, you establish a foundation of self-love and respect that positively impacts your relationships with others. So don't hesitate to indulge in the things that bring you joy. You deserve it. 10. Continuously challenging yourself is key to personal growth and success. Dare to dream big and push your limits, but remember to take calculated risks rather than unnecessary ones. By stepping out of your comfort zone and embracing new challenges, you open yourself up to opportunities for growth and achievement. Choosing a life of merely getting by and surviving limits your potential, whereas pushing boundaries allows you to reach new heights. Highly successful individuals understand the importance of stretching themselves beyond their comfort zones. This stretching involves moving beyond what is familiar and comfortable, which can lead to significant personal and professional development. It's easy to become complacent and stagnant, but by seeking out bigger challenges, you continue to evolve and improve. Having ambitious dreams provides motivation and direction, encouraging you to strive for more. As Donald Trump famously said, since you have countless thoughts every day, why not make them grand ones? Dreaming big allows you to expand your horizons and pursue your full potential. 11. Becoming comfortable with money is an important step towards financial success. Start by carrying an appropriate amount of money with you and get used to having it on hand. This helps send a positive message to yourself about your relationship with money. One effective technique is to practice writing out checks and paying in slips for large sums of money, even if it's just on paper. This exercise helps you become more comfortable with the idea of handling significant financial transactions. However, it's essential to ensure these practice checks and slips are kept secure and not left lying around. Many people feel intimidated by large sums of money, but it's crucial to overcome this fear. As you acquire more wealth, your financial responsibilities may increase, but this is part of the journey towards financial success. Embrace the challenge and be prepared to take on greater responsibilities. Just like mastering any new skill, becoming comfortable with money takes practice and repetition. Rehearse success by envisioning yourself as wealthier and imagine what your life will be like when you achieve your financial goals. This mental preparation helps make the transition to greater wealth smoother and more enjoyable. Remember, the bigger the challenges you face, the greater the rewards. Embrace the process of becoming wealthier one step at a time and celebrate your successes along the way. With dedication and perseverance, you can turn your financial dreams into reality. 12. Giving more than you're paid for is a powerful way to build trust and value with others. Back in the 1960s, Japanese products were often seen as low quality and cheap. However, everything changed with the help of a consultant named Edwards Deming. Deming introduced two key concepts: quality control and constant improvement. These ideas transformed the Japanese approach to manufacturing. Instead of focusing solely on cutting costs, they prioritized making better products and continuously refining their processes. As a result, Japan became a global leader in industry and innovation. This success stemmed from their willingness to challenge old beliefs and constantly seek ways to enhance their work. You can apply the same mindset to your own life. Continuously ask yourself, how can I do better next time? Look for opportunities to improve, whether it's in your job, your relationships, or any other aspect of your life. By embracing a mindset of constant improvement, you can achieve greater success and fulfillment. 13. Practicing gratitude may seem like a cliche, but it's incredibly powerful. When you focus on the good things in your life and express gratitude for them, it changes your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Every night before you go to bed, take a few moments to reflect on the positive aspects of your life. Think about your health, your friendships, the opportunities you have, and where you live. Then express gratitude, whether it's to a higher power, life itself, or whatever feels right for you. This simple practice sends a powerful message to your unconscious mind that you are abundant and blessed. It creates a positive flow of energy and attracts more good things into your life. Remember, genuine gratitude also has a ripple effect on others. When you express appreciation for the people around you, it strengthens your relationships and encourages them to support you even more in the future. In essence, today's gratitude paves the way for tomorrow's happiness. So make gratitude a regular part of your life and watch how it transforms your outlook and attracts more positivity into your life. 14. Instead of viewing poverty as a problem, see it as a challenge to overcome. Many wealthy people have faced poverty at some point in their lives and used it as motivation to succeed. Remember, you don't have to become rich overnight. Start by making small improvements each day. By gradually increasing your income and financial stability, you can work towards achieving your goals and overcoming the challenge of poverty. 15. Be mindful of habits that reinforce a mindset of poverty. For instance, avoid taking office supplies like paper clips without permission. Truly wealthy individuals wouldn't need to resort to such actions. Also, make sure to consistently pay your bills on time. This demonstrates responsibility and financial stability. These actions serve as symbols or affirmations of wealth, reflecting your belief in your ability to manage your finances effectively. 16. Don't squander your time on trivial matters. Identify what truly matters to you and organize your life around those priorities. I've personally struggled with this issue in the past. For instance, imagine your time is valued at $100 per hour. Spending 2 hours trying to save $50 by calling various places for a better price is inefficient and ineffective use of your time and resources. 17. Capture your good ideas immediately when they come to you. Unfortunately, not many people take this simple step. Keep a pen and paper or a pocket tape recorder nearby so you can jot down your thoughts. By doing this, you won't overlook your brilliant ideas. Sometimes a single idea could lead to significant success, potentially earning you millions of dollars. For instance, consider if you've ever had an idea for a product or service, only to later see it being sold by someone else. The difference between you and them? They took action, they recorded their idea and then acted upon it. 18. Regularly practicing positive techniques is key. Many opportunities to become wealthier arise daily, often unnoticed. By consistently practicing these techniques, you train yourself to focus on wealth. Financial success isn't random, it's about adopting certain beliefs and consistently taking specific actions. Few multimillionaires achieve wealth by chance. They follow specific ways of thinking and behaving. Now it's your turn to do the same. 19. Charge what you're truly worth. Imagine there's a king with a huge steamship that breaks down. He calls all the best engineers, but none can fix it. Then a little old man steps up. He says he can do it, but he wants $300. The king agrees, and the man takes out a tiny screwdriver, turns one screw, and boom, the ship works perfectly. The king is shocked. $300 for turning one screw? He asks. The old man replies, no, $1 for turning the screw, $2.99 for knowing which screw to turn. The lesson here is about knowing your value. Sometimes people are scared to ask for what they're really worth because they worry no one will pay it. But undervaluing yourself can lead to being overworked and underpaid. Instead, charge what you're truly worth. This gives you more time to focus on other ways to make money and enjoy life. Remember, it's essential to reassess your worth regularly so you're always getting what you deserve. 20. Never giving up. Imagine Colonel Sanders, the guy who started Kentucky Fried Chicken. When he retired, he realized his Social Security check wasn't enough, so he had an idea. He knew everyone loved his chicken recipe, so he tried to sell it to restaurants. But they all said no over and over again. He faced 1,009 rejections before someone finally said yes. The point? Success often comes after lots of failures. Many people give up too soon because they don't see results right away. But Colonel Sanders didn't give up, and neither should you. Remember, true wealth isn't just about money, it's about finding what makes you happy and fulfilled. So start today, make a plan, and keep pushing forward. Even when it gets tough, don't give up. Eventually, you'll look back and be glad you kept going.